From ABC, this is World News Tonight with Peter Jennings.
Good evening. We begin tonight with the state of education in the country, the sorry state in this case. There has been another report from the government today on the competence of American students. This time the subject is mathematics. The President's Commission on Education said some time ago that by the end of the century, that's 9 years from now, American students should be the best in the world. Here is the situation today. When high school seniors in 37 states were asked to add up the cost of a hamburger, a cup of soup, and a soda on the lunch menu, 25% of them got it wrong. Here's our education reporter, Bill Blakemore.
American students and schools have failed the most comprehensive survey ever made of their math abilities.
This is an alarm bell that ought to ring all night throughout this country.
Only 1 in 7 eighth graders can understand simple algebra and geometry. In fact, fewer than 2/3 of eighth graders could figure out the average age of the people in their families. And only 1 in 20 high school seniors can handle the algebra, probability, and statistical reasoning necessary for college-level work and many of today's jobs. The study says it's not surprising. Many schools are simply not teaching them how.
If one is not exposed to material, there's no way they can learn it.
The survey also found many schools teaching math in ways that have nothing to do with real life.
We have a curriculum that was designed almost 100 years ago that some characterize as shopkeeper's arithmetic. Now people in stores don't even do that kind of arithmetic anymore. The cash register does.
Most schools still use outmoded techniques, heavy reliance on a single textbook with repetitious drills, or on worksheets, and on way too many tests, all of which can kill the fun of creative math thinking.
We're working hard, but we're not working smart.
The study also suggests results would have been much better if more teachers had studied a wider variety of math and math teaching techniques, and if students gave up some television time to study time. Those who performed worst often spend 6 hours a day in front of the TV. Secretary of Education Lamar Alexander said this survey should shake all Americans from the common belief that while everyone else's schools are bad, theirs is probably okay.
But if our aim is to be first in the world in math by the year 2000, we had better fire up our engines because we have an enormous challenge ahead of us.
Bill Blakemore, ABC News.
The reality in American schools is that not all students who receive a diploma have received an education. Thousands of students are passed right on through the system only to discover much later how much they didn't learn. Today, a small but growing number of high schools are embarked on an experiment designed to reassure the graduates and their future employers that they will deliver what the diploma promised. ABC's Charles Thomas is in Rockford, Illinois.
About 1/3 of this year's graduates of Harlem High School received more than a diploma. They earned a certificate of employability.
Kind of gives you a little boost for the future, knowing that you're recognized like this.
The wallet-sized card guarantees the holder can read, write, and do basic math, and that the student had a good attitude and attendance record. If an employer determines a guaranteed graduate lacks those skills and qualities, the school promises to reteach the teenager.
We need to do everything we possibly can to make sure that Harlem graduates are successful. If they are successful, then our programs are successful.
Education warranties are supposed to address complaints from private industry that many schools do not prepare graduates for the workforce. Last year, businesses spent $250 million to reteach workers basic skills they should have learned in high school.
The level of literacy that it took to be a productive worker 20 years ago is no longer sufficient. Jobs have changed enormously.
The Ingersoll Machine Company has already decided that job applicants with warranted diplomas will make better workers.
That person with the certificate is going to get the nod before the person without the certificate.
That's a strong motivation for many Harlem students.
It'll make me work hard to try to get one, because it'll give me a better chance at getting a good job.
Officials hope that next year, half the graduates here will have earned warranties, a guarantee that students and the school are getting better. Charles Thomas, ABC News, Rockford, Illinois.
We'll have another report on teenagers later in the broadcast, how Iowa intends to punish teenagers for smoking. On the American agenda tonight, doctors making a profit on their patients. And in just a moment, how the illegal sale of an assault rifle in California has proved very expensive for the dealer who sold it.
This is World News Tonight with Peter Jennings, brought to you by AT&T.